So the financial report was prepared by Philippe. Thanks a lot. And I just present it. So what we see here is actually we have got the table about the income statement for the financial year in 2020. The table is split up in such a way that the expenditures are on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side are the resources. So our income, the column which is headed by with the title 2020 refers to the actual result of 2020, and the column next to it with B 2020 is more or less the budget, what we budgeted. At the bottom of the graph you see the balance. So to bring you immediately to the results, we have got a very small loss of 2,697 euros over the year. But we had been actually targeting a much bigger loss of 30,000 euros a year. So the expenses which we had with Michelle was more or less the ones we also budgeted for, similar for Michael Hodderan and Breen. There was less spent for Malcolm, there was less spent for the test suite because the development of the test suite really started only in this year, in 2021. And even so there was work done on Cobia, it was mainly done with the consultancy service scheme, which we fulfilled and which we completed with HDRI and KBC. So around 2,000 euros instead of the 6,500 which we budgeted for. We also had an item for some legal services. We budgeted 5,000 because we were not sure whether we need legal advice for the licenses, but at the end for the license text of our software and the license strategy, which we developed a year before. So we agreed on the license text, so it was not necessary to actually ask for more legal advice. Unfortunately, we also didn't have got costs for the AGM or travel expenses for the contractor because in 2020 we already had to hold our meeting virtually and we couldn't meet in person. So these are the differences which explain that we have got a much lower loss than actually we anticipated in the year before when we did the budget. So what does it mean for the reserves? That means in end of 2019 we still had around 60,000 euros reserves. They reduced now to 57,000 euros end of 2020. So what I just said in the Excel sheet is here written down once more. So let's move on to the budget, to the balance sheet for the fiscal year in 2020. So here we have got another Excel sheet where to the left we have got the assets, we have got the liabilities, and if we did proper bank bookkeeping, then the total should always add up to the same numbers. So everything is done on the 31st of December 2020. We had on the bank in cash 16,000, on our savings account 41,000. We received from the bank the interest of 50 euros, and after the VAT claims and other kind of things, we ended up with 68,307 euros assets. And similar here to the right, the balance over the liabilities. And there we should say that the 11,160s are bills which we paid in 2021. Budget proposal for 2022. We see here again our familiar spreadsheet. Expenditures to the left and incomes to the right. What you see here in the first column is actually the estimate of which we have for 2021, so for this year. And there we actually even expect a small profit of 1,522 euros, as you can see. I'm not sure whether you see my mouse, but here at the bottom to the right for the estimates for 2021. This is mainly also due to the fact that this year it's the first time that we have got associated membership fees. So in total we expect that we get 24,800 euros membership fees for 2021. So that actually brings us to an income instead of 60,000 euros to 84,000 euros. So we can stem actually all these projects which we have with the test switch, with COBIA and certification. So these are the additional costs compared to the balances before, which in total gives us for this year an expected result or expenditure of 83,000 euros. Now for the budget in 2022, we assume that Michel is still fully available for us, so we have the same post for him. Michael Hollerand doesn't have got a contract with us anymore, so he will drop out in this balance sheet. And we still have got the services from Brian. But we have got a new item that's actually really a successor for Michel, and we expect that maybe not early next year, but in the course of next year, that we will try to hire somebody in order to work him in for the administrative task which Michel has, so that we take the first steps in that direction. We still want to support the certification, the test suite and COBIA, so more or less we budgeted the same amount of money for 2022. We will have got some additional costs for the website maintenance because we have to shift providers and also have to upgrade WordPress for the website. And the software services, so laptop, the WebEx fees and all these kind of things will remain the same. We did in our budget put money in there in the hope that we really have got a physical meeting. So it would be nice if we can see each other next year. So that brings us to in total to around the costs of 93,000 euros or 94,000 euros, which will be balanced with 84,000 euros income. So in total, we expect actually for the end of 2022 a loss of 10,000 euros. If that all materializes, it's a loss, but still compared to the predictions which we did the year before, our reserves will shrink closely to 50,000 euros. So this is still above what we budgeted or what we thought 2 years ago, where we wanted to equilibrate our balances around at reserves of 30,000 euros. So I think we need to also vote on, here's the context once more, what I tried to explain on the slide.